Okay, it's Saturday at the Masters, moving day. You've joined us at the Asprey.
And today we're going to show you how to spin your chip shots. Let's help you take charge of your game.
Okay guys, 2 rounds to go at the Masters. Andy is heating up.
Exciting.
And we've seen some pretty good short game scores so far this week, and hopefully see some more in a moment. But so the chipping around Augusta, it's so hard, and one of the things that they're faced with, I know they've introduced the rough over the last couple of years, but they still have to play a lot of chip shots off tight lies, and that actually helps them a little bit, doesn't it? Because if they short side themselves with those sloping greens, they need to be able to spin.
Correct.
Or get their chip shots to land softly. So today we're going to talk about that. You know, how often do we get this question, how do I spin my chip shots? And it's a very common question. So Andy, we're going to tell them today, aren't we? How do we spin the chip shots?
So I think as you mentioned, it's a common question, but the majority of people are trying to spin their chip shots when they don't need to. So first of all, we need to make sure that you're only going to, it's important to have this shot, but only for when you actually need it. We talked about in our chipping series earlier, Pierce, that we want to land the ball and get it rolling. So chipping and spinning the golf ball, we only want to use it when we need it. And we've got a situation here today on the 12th at the Asprey. I've got a little bit to go over. It's downhill. Hardly any green to work with. I need to land this ball on the green and get a little bit of spin to stop it close to the hole. Otherwise, it's running
tough,
down.
isn't it? Because it does go left to right as well. So you can't put it or hit a chip and run shot. You could do, but you're left with a 20-footer. So if you're not comfortable with a spin shot, don't perhaps go on the golf course after watching this video and do it for the first time in a competition. But so we can't go low here. We have to go high. And then as soon as we go high, it means we've got to carry it further, and that means we've got to stop it quicker.
Yes.
So okay, Andy, what I think the first thing to do is let's go through some of the common mistakes maybe we see on people who do try and spin their shots.
Okay, now the biggest thing that we hear when people are trying to spin shots is you've got to hit down on the golf ball. Okay, you need to hit down. So this is the first mistake that a lot of you guys make out there, is you put the ball back in the stance and lean the shaft forward. Now, number one thing you've got to remember, to create spin, you need loft. We want to get loft at impact as much as possible. So if you put the ball back and lean the shaft forward, guess what? You're taking that loft off. Yes, you're hitting down on the golf ball maybe a little bit more, but you're doing it with less loft. So we want to make sure you can get as much loft as possible to that golf ball. Now, this can work and you can get spin because it's very loaded, it goes in low. Yeah. So you don't really lose any spin in the air.
Yeah, it gets to the green quickly, doesn't it? It gets to the ground quickly.
But you're not going to get that one that's going to land a little soft and then grab really quickly and stop. It's going in low and spinning too much. So there's the first mistake that we make. And so, I mean, I've got my 60-degree here, so I've got my maximum loft. That's going to give me the most spin. Now, where we like to see the ball position, Pierce, is centre or even slightly ahead of centre, because that's going to ensure that I can start with the shaft angle more neutral at the midline of my body as opposed to angling so much forward. So we're going to go with ball position centre of the feet or just slightly ahead, and we're going to build our setup really around a more neutral shaft, and that's going to ensure that loft on the golf club is going to give me that maximum spin.
Okay, and it helps with the bounce angle as well. There's a lot more education now about the bounce angle and how that helps you in the golf shot. So,
and that's a great point.
At the bottom, As
soon as we lean that shaft forward, we take that bounce off the club, and we're going to dig into that ground. Now, it can be dangerous on some wet stuff, Pierce. There can be a bit, sort of dig in there, but as we get the shaft more neutral, that brings this bounce angle into play, and that just sort of guides us, especially Augusta being sort of so manicured and flat and fairly firm. It's just going to act as a bit of a slide to get underneath that golf ball and maximise that loft stuff.
Definitely. And you can see why it's, some people will put the ball back because it helps them with contact. Now, contact is really important for getting spin on your chip shots, but yes, you need contact, but you need speed. Okay, that's fine. Now, if you put speed into a de-lofted position, it's probably going to go a bit further than you want to. And also, we need loft. Okay, so contact, speed, and loft equals spin. Now, if you put the handle forward, you're only going to get one of those, which is contact.
Yes.
And that's not enough really, especially at Augusta. And you'll find a majority of the people now, they put that golf ball a little bit further forward in the stance. Seve used to do it a lot. You see a lot of pictures of Seve. He would put the ball back if he wanted to play a low running shot, but if he wanted loft, he would put the ball a bit further forward in the stance, and he would get more of a brushing effect on the ground. And maybe show that that sort of.
I think a lot of you guys are at home are aware of sort of. I think Mickelson's talks about it a lot, having this hinge and hold. And Mickelson's a very talented guy, so
be very careful,
sometimes he can do some pretty special stuff that we maybe can't do. So he
has a lot of loft on his clubs, though, doesn't he, Andy? When
he
plays his shot, he does it with a very high lofted club.
He does.
To equalise the lean forward, maybe.
So this is how Mickelson sometimes plays his shots. He gets the shaft leaning forward and then holds it like this. So that creates a good strike, but it goes in a little lower. But even though it's loaded with spin, he's got a lot of loft on there. So if we can get the shaft in a more neutral position here, and this is what we like to see. We like to see that our guys, when we get them to practice, where they swing and brush about the spot where they're going to strike that golf ball. So it's not as precise, doesn't need to be as precise because the bounce is doing the work, but I'm brushing that spot about the place where that golf ball is. And you'll start to see where that grass is there.
I'm more comfortable now you stop doing that, Andy. I thought you were going to hit me then, but yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so that's going to give you an idea of, that's going to help you ensure you get the strike.
Yeah.
And that really does then give you that feel that you need to get underneath that golf ball, ensure you get that contact that you need to get the spin.
Okay, yeah, and don't be worried about hitting the ground and the ball at the same time. That is not a problem. That's actually a better way of doing it. If you get the ball too much, as I said, ball hands forward, it's going to go a little bit too low maybe. So okay, so ball further forward, more neutral setup with the shaft lean, using the bounce on the bottom of the golf club. Brush.
Not too much lead. We're going to allow that club to sort of swing through, and you can see there that club head's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to
some people might even say that's almost a bit of a scoop and a flick.
Yeah, there's definitely more of a release through the shot there as opposed to on a hold it.
And I think that the scooping action, as you may call it, it's a horrible term to use. As long as the handle keeps going, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right, Andy. I think we spoke for long enough. I want to see
eager to hit some shots. Okay.
So we've got a shot of about 25 yards. So it's a longish chip, but it is all downhill and it is all from left to right. So this is.
So I'm getting that sort of brush as I'm doing it here. Give me the feeling of where I need to strike it. So from here again, I just want to land it on that green and see if we can get that spin.
Pretty tidy.
So let's check quite quickly.
Yeah, that's good.
And then use that slope then just to get down there.
I don't think you should hit anymore. That's a good shot.
So again, same feeling again. Brush in that spot where I want to strike. A couple of those to give me the feel. See if I can repeat that one there. A bit higher there.
A bit higher, so that'll just maybe all land softly than actually get the spin, but guess what, the result's still very good.
Yeah. So again, you can't really do that if the ball's back in the stance.
No, definitely won't.
So even though that came a little bit higher there, it's still going a pretty similar distance.
So I'm making sure he's staying neutral. He looks very neutral. He's going to brush that grass as he swings through. There's the brush. This should have locked on. Yeah, very good. Nice.
Checks in.
Oh, that ball stopped it going in. What a shame.
3 shots that I'd be very happy with there, by the way.
We're going to have a little chipping contest later. He's not using those. He's going to have to do those again. Okay, so look, guys, keep it neutral. Yeah, watch them. Watch these guys closely. You will see lots of chip shots today and tomorrow as well, and just have a look at their technique and see how neutral some of them are now. Definitely a lot of coaches go that way with their players now. Yeah,
and there's a place for when you can put the ball back, but if you want to create some spin, get some loft, use the loft, get the shaft neutral, and brush. It's going to make a big difference.
Brush, I really think can help. That really can help.
Yes, it will.
Okay, guys, post your comments down below on how you spin your shots. You know, I'd like to see if there's any other variations out there. And look, they all do it slightly differently, but that's a really good, simple way of doing it. So post your comments down below. And what have we got tomorrow? Sunday, isn't
pressure.
It?
We've got some pressure stuff tomorrow.
Pressure tomorrow.
Make sure you stay tuned for that tomorrow.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching Me and My Golf TV. We'll see you soon.
Sorry, 6 foot left. And let's see what that green does. Okay, started a little bit too much left there, but you can see how much that broke still. So a little bit too much power, a little bit too much left of the target there.